Good morning, students, and welcome to the class. Today, we'll be moving on to a new chapter. So, let me share my screen and let's get started. So, our next topic is plants in the surroundings. So, first, we'll be talking about the parts of a plant, the structure, and its function. A plant has two main parts, the root and the shoot. Now, the root, the part of a plant that grows below the ground is called the root. What is it? The part of a plant that grows below the ground is called root. And what is shoot? Parts of a plant that grow above the ground is called shoot. So it includes stem, leaves, fruits, flowers. So they are all called as shoot, and they are the plants that grow, or the part of the plant that grows above the ground. Okay. Now, can you see in the picture, children? Plants have two main organ systems. So the first one is the shoot system, that is anything that comes above the ground, and root system is the root that grows below the ground into the soil. So plants have two main parts, the shoot system and the root system. Moving on, can you see the parts of the plant, children? Yes, you know there are fruits that come out of the plant. Yes, there are leaves, flowers, and the main important part of the plant is the stem that holds the plant together, and also the roots that hold the plant together and straight. Okay, moving on, different parts of the plant and their function. So we are going to know what are the parts of the plant and what they do in order to help the plant. Okay, first one is fruit. Most fruit contain seeds. A fruit may have one, few or more or many seeds. Mango has one seed. Apple and orange have few seeds. Papaya, tomato, and watermelon have many seeds. So all of us have seen an apple, an orange, a mango, papaya, tomato, watermelon, and many other fruits and vegetables that have one seed, few seeds, or many seeds. So here we know, for example, mango has one seed, apple and oranges have few seeds, papaya, tomato, and watermelon have many seeds. Okay, coming to leaf. Leaf differ in shape and size. They are generally green in color. The food for the plant is prepared inside the leaves in the presence of sunlight, air, and water. So we all move and animals move from one place to another in order to get their food, but leaves, they prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight, air, and water. In the presence of sunlight, air, and water. Coming to flower, yes, flower forms the fruit. Okay, moving on. Stem. Stem gives support to the plant. It carries water and food to all parts of the plant. So like I mentioned, stem is the very most important part of a plant, and it first supports the plant and it carries water and food to all the other parts of the plant. Coming to root, roots fix the plant to the soil. So the root that is present below the root system, it fixes the plant to the soil so that it doesn't move. Okay, and they take in water and nutrients from the soil. So roots basically take the water and nutrients from the soil and they fix the plant to the root so it is firm. Moving on. Now, under root, root is a part of a plant that usually grows below the ground. Yes, we came to know that. And under that, there are two types of roots. How many types? Two types of roots. So the first one being taproot. The taproot is the main root that grows into the soil from the base of the stem. So from the base of the stem, they grow into the soil. That is, they go under or they go below. Okay, and many smaller roots grow out of it. So there are many small roots from the taproot that grow out of it. Plants such as radish, carrot, sunflower, and mango have tap roots. Coming to fibrous roots. Fibrous roots are bunch of thin and bushy roots. So roots that are very bushy and very thin, they are called fibrous root. They grow together into the soil from the base of the stem. It's the same thing. They all grow under. This is the root system. So they all grow under, it is below into the soil, and they are bushy and thin roots. This fibrous root, they grow together in the soil from the base of the stem. Now, what are the examples of these kind of roots? Plants such as wheat, rice, and grass have fibrous root. Can you see the picture? This is taproot. Yes, they are coming into the soil, and fibrous root happens to be bushy. They're many, and they are really thin. So can you see, children, the difference between the taproot and the fibrous root? Yes. Have you all seen your radish? Sometimes when you pick radish from the ground, it has these kind of roots that are coming out, and these are the tap roots, and this is the fibrous root. Okay, shall we move on? Yes. Functions of roots. What are the functions of the roots? Now, the main functions of the root are, first, it holds the plant firmly to the soil. Yes, it grips the plant firmly to the soil. Then they absorb water and nutrients that are required for the plant to, like how we need food and water and to grow, even the plant needs water and nutrients to grow. Roots hold the soil together and prevent it from being washed away in the rain. So roots are very important. So they are like the legs for the stem, for the plant. So they hold the whole soil together, and because if it happens to rain or there is a flood, so it prevents it from being washed away. Now, some roots are surplus amount of food prepared by plants. So roots are surplus amount of food that is prepared by the plant, and we can eat these roots. For example, carrot, radish, and turnip, these are few vegetables, or these are few roots, we can say, that is prepared by the plant, and we eat them. Okay, can you see, children? Now we're going to the shoot. So we just spoke about the root system. Now we're going to the shoot system. So the shoot consists of stem, fruits, seeds, and flowers, etc. So they all are growing on this shoot system that is above the root. So they are above the ground, and they are known as the shoot system. Okay. Coming on to the most important part of a plant is the stem. Now, the stem is the main part of the shoot. Stems can be strong or weak. Trees such as banyan tree have a thick and strong stem called trunk. It holds the tree straight and upright. Yes, so we all know trees that have huge trunks, they hold the whole tree together, and they're really strong and thick. For example, your banyan trees or your normal trees that you see around, so they have huge trunks that are strong and thick, and they hold the whole tree together. So it makes the tree stand straight and upright. That is, it is in a straight way it is put. Okay, now coming to plants such as grapevine and pea. All of y'all know your peas, these small peas that we get, the green color ones. Yes, so they have weak stems. Such plants either grow along the ground or need support of other plants, walls, or sticks. So can you see in the picture, children? This is actually the picture of a grapevine, the stem of a grapevine. And here also I've shown you the stem of a grapevine. They're very thin and weak, and they need support. For example, your creeper plants. Have you all seen creepers? Yes, they need a support to move upwards. So these are weak stems, and they need a support to grow from the bottom. Okay, now moving on. What are the functions of a stem or stems? What are the functions of stems? Now, The function of the stems are they keep the most plants upright. Most plants that are standing tall, so they keep the plants upright. Now they bear leaves, fruits and flowers that we can see when we move around. What do they carry? They carry water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves and plants, and they move it to all the other parts of the plant. Okay. So what do they carry? Water and nutrients. Now, they carry food from leaves. They carry food from leaves to all parts of the plant like I just mentioned. Now, some plants store surplus amount of food prepared by them in the stem. We can eat these stems, for example, sugarcane, potato and ginger. So again, the plants, they store surplus amount of food that is prepared by them through the stem and we can eat them. So these are the few stems that we eat, that is the sugarcane, potato and ginger that is coming out from the surplus amount of food that is prepared by the stem. Moving on, leaf. We have come to the leaf. Leaves grow on stems. They are of different shapes, sizes and different plants. Okay, so most leaves are green, isn't it, children? The most plants or leaves that we see are in green color. So they are of different sizes and shapes and they grow on stems. Okay, what is the structure of the leaf? Very important, children. We should know the structure of the leaf. Now, the flat surface of a leaf is called leaf blade. So all of you all have seen? Yes, leaves, all the leaves are flat. Yes, so they are called as leaf blade. Now, many small tubes called veins cover the entire blade. The long tube passing through the mid of the leaf from the tip of the end is called midrib. A stalk connects the leaf to the stem. Tiny openings on leaves known as stomata help the plant take in and give out air. So I will show you the picture. Can you see, children, this straight line right in the center of the leaf? Yes, that is called midrib, and the flat surface of the leaf, it is called blade. Now, from the midrib, can you see there are lines that are coming out from the midrib? Yes, this is known as veins. And on the surface of the plant, there is something known as tiny pores that are present. Now, they are called the stomata. So, they breathe in and they breathe out. So, when they breathe in, they take in carbon dioxide, and when they breathe out, they give us oxygen. That is very important to human life. So, this was the structure of the leaf. Okay, moving on to what are the functions of the leaf. Most leaves appear green because they contain a substance called chlorophyll. So most of the plants or leaves that we see are green. So why is that? Because they have a substance that contains chlorophyll. Now what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll helps to absorb sunlight. Green leaves prepare food for the plants. Green leaves, they prepare food for the plants in the presence of air, water and sunlight. Very important. Green leaves, like I said, plants prepare their own food, so they need that. So how do they do that? In the presence of sunlight, water and air. They need these three main essential parts in order to make their own food or prepare their own food. This is why a leaf is known as the kitchen or the food factory of the plant. So we can say that the leaf is known as the kitchen of or the food factory of the plant because they help in making the food, again in the presence of air, water and sunlight. Now, the process by which green leaves prepare food using carbon dioxide, that is the air we are talking about, water and minerals in the presence of sunlight is called photosynthesis. So this process where the green leaves make their own food is called photosynthesis. What do they need? They prepare their food in the presence of air, that is carbon dioxide, water and minerals, and also sunlight that is needed. So this whole process of making their own food is called photosynthesis. Leaves give out a gas called oxygen that is very important for the human beings and animals, and they take in carbon dioxide to prepare their food. Okay, can you see the picture, children? It needs sunlight, it needs carbon dioxide that is going inside, and it gives out oxygen and water that is going in through the roots of the plant, and it goes through all the parts of the plant. Okay, what are the functions of leaves? Leaves of plants store food. So leaves of the plant, once they are finished making their food and it is sent to all parts of the plant, now they store the extra food or the surplus food. So leaves even have this function of storing the food. Now, for example, spinach, cabbage, lettuce, coriander leaves are examples of leaves that we eat as human beings. What are they? Spinach, cabbage, and other kind of leaves also that we eat, like lettuce, cauliflower, kale, basil. So these are all leaves that we eat, that is coming from the leaves. So, okay, moving on, we are going into flowers. Okay, so this is the picture of flowers, isn't it, children? Yes, we all see beautiful flowers around us. Yes. So now we're going to talk about the flowers. Flowers. Most flowers are brightly colored and have a sweet and pleasant smell. Most flowers change into fruits. Most fruits have one or more seed inside them. Seeds grow into new plants, thus, flowers are important to a plant as they help to reproduce. So, seeds grow into new plants, and the flowers are very important to help them to reproduce and grow more in number. Okay, so now we're going on to fruits. Yes, children, we all have yummy fruits. Some of us love watermelon or a banana or pineapple, isn't it? So even coming to fruits, fruits such as mango and plum have a single seed, that is one seed inside them. Apple, orange, and lemons have few seeds inside them, so very few seeds you can see inside the apple, orange, and lemons. Fruits such as papaya and watermelon have many seeds. So fruits such as watermelon and papaya, if you happen to eat watermelon or papaya, you can see there are so many seeds that comes out of these fruits. We eat fruits of many plants. Okay, what is the structure of a seed? The structure of a seed. The life of a plant starts with a seed. Yes, we all know once we put the seed into the soil and put some water and give it some minerals and all of that, only then the plant will begin to grow into a nice and fruit giving tree or flower giving plant or tree. Okay, now some seeds are very small, such as grains of sand, while others are as big as a pebble. So they say that few seeds will look really small, that is even of grains like sand, and some as huge as a pebble. We all know how a pebble looks, so it will be quite big. They can be round or flat. So seeds can be either round in shape or they can be flat. Now, seeds can be grown black, can be brown, black, green, yellow, or even some other color. So we see seeds of mostly brown, black, green, and yellow color, and there can be other colors to the seeds too. Okay, the outer covering of the seed is called the seed coat, which is generally hard. So all of us have seen a seed. So if you see the outer covering of the seed, it has a coat, and this is known as seed coat, and it is very hard. It protects the seed. The seed has a tiny plant inside it. So when the seed gets enough light, air, water, and warmth, that is from the sunlight, the tiny plant grows out and germinates. So nothing but when the seed receives water, air, sunlight, and the warmth of the sun, like I just said. So they begin to grow. That is nothing but the process of photosynthesis. Okay, it forms the seedling. So seedling is nothing but when the plant starts its beginning, when it starts to grow, also known as a sapling. So this is known as seedling, when it begins to grow from the seed that is planted. Seeds also contain seed leaves or cotyledons inside them. So seeds have something known as leaves or cotyledons that is inside them. Now what are the kinds of seeds? There are two kinds, that is monocot and dicot seeds. Okay, so monocots, they have only one thin cotyledon inside them. They have only one. So mono means one, and that's why they have one thin cotyledon inside. They do not store food inside them. So these monocot seeds, they don't store food inside them. Food is stored in some other part of the seed. So it is stored in some other part of the seed, but it is not stored inside the cotyledon. For example, maize, rice, and grass. These are few examples of monocot seed that store the food in some other part of the seed. Coming to dicot, they have two cotyledons that are present inside them. For example, pea, bean, gram seeds. Yes, when we open a pea, when you peel a pea, how many peas you can see there are dicotyledons. That is, it is covered like this in two. So that is called dicot, that is two seeds. Okay, can you see children? This is the monocot and this is the dicot seed. Yes? Okay. Moving on to germination. Germination is the process by which a seed grows into a new plant. So when the seed begins to grow into a new plant, this process is called germination. A seed germinates into seedling. That is nothing but as it's coming out as a small plant, it is known as seedling. And when it gets the right amount of water, sunlight, and heat and cold and nutrients, they start to germinate. The plants start and begin to grow. Not all seeds germinate into new plants. So we all come to know that not all seeds they germinate into new plants, but few seeds they germinate into plants. Now, some seeds are eaten up by birds and insects. Some get destroyed by rain or wind. Some seeds do not get the right conditions for germination. So why not all seeds can germinate into new plants is because they are eaten by either birds or insects. They get destroyed or washed away by the rain or wind. And seeds, they don't get the right amount of condition to germinate. So that means germination is they need water, sunlight, and air in order to grow. So they don't get all these conditions, and that is why we say not all seeds germinate into new plants. Okay, how can you and I care for plants? Plants are very important for the survival of all living things on earth. Yes, very important because they give us oxygen that helps us to breathe. So we need to be very careful and take care of plants in such a way because they give us life. So they supply oxygen, give us fruits and vegetables, oils, spices, and medicines. Plants have so much to offer to us. So what we can do is take care of them as much as we can. Okay, they also provide us wood. Yes, our papers, the wood, our furniture, they provide that too for us. And many animals live on plants. So many animals that are plant eating animals, they also depend on plants. We should take proper care of plants by following the steps that is below. Now, sufficient space between should be left between plants that are grown in the soil. So there must be a space in between plants that are grown on the soil. Then we should water plants regularly depending on their needs. Some plants require more water than the other. So you know what plants you are growing. So you need to put water accordingly and take care and make sure they are having the right conditions in order to grow and become a beautiful plant. Okay. Adequate sunlight should be available to them again as they are growing and they need food, they need sunlight also. So you should make sure that sunlight is also available to them. Manure and limited fertilizers should be added to the soil to make them fertile. So now we have manure and limited fertilizers. Fertilizers that help the plant to grow into a healthy plant. So you need to add these also to the soil in order to help them to grow into healthy plants. Soil should be regularly turned up with a troll so that it remains porous and oxygen is available to the roots. So there must always be this turned up troll. Okay, so they do this process where there is pores, so there has to be a gap between the soil so that oxygen is available to the roots, so the oxygen travels down to the roots and then from there they are able to grow. Okay, now pesticides and fungicides should be sprayed whenever plants are attacked by insects and other animals. So yes, the plant can't protect itself. So we have to make sure that the plant is protected, and pesticides and fungicides are nothing but bacteria that can be affecting the plants or insects or animals that come and affect the plant. So what we should do is we should spray pesticides and fungicides in order to make them go away. Okay, let's have a recap. A plant has two main parts, the root and the shoot. The root takes in water. Okay, so let's have a quick recap on what we just learned today, the whole chapter. Okay, so a plant has two main parts, the root and the shoot. The root takes in water and minerals from the soil. The shoot consists of leaves, stem, flowers, and fruits. The stem keeps a plant straight and upright. It also carries water and food to different parts of the plant. The leaves prepare food for the plants. Okay, moving on. Now there are two types of roots, the taproot and the fibrous root. The shoot consists of leaves, stem, flowers, fruits, and seeds. Stem. The stem is the main part of the shoot. Stems can be weak or strong. Trees such as banyan tree have a strong and thick stem called the trunk or a trunk, and plants such as grapevine and pea have weak stems that they need a support to grow from the ground all the way to where they want to go up to. Okay, coming to leaves. Leaves grow on stems. They are of different shapes and sizes in different plants. Most leaves are green in color. The flat surface of a leaf is called leaf blades. Many small tubes called veins cover the entire leaf blade. The middle of the leaf from the tip to the end of the leaf is called the midrib. The main thing that runs right in center of the leaf is called the midrib. A stalk connects the leaf to the stem. Tiny openings on the leaves called stomata help the plant take in and give out air. Most leaves appear green because they contain a substance called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll helps leaves to absorb sunlight. Green leaves prepare food for the plants in the presence of water, air, and sunlight. Leaves give out a gas called oxygen, which is essential for our life. Leaves of plants store food. Spinach, cabbage, lettuce, and coriander are examples of leaves that human beings eat. Okay, so that was our small revision, children. This is the whole chapter, and you can watch the video once again, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you.